Some of them were condemned to 40, 50 years without any evidence. They didn't know how to speak Spanish. They basically accused them. They made them put their fingerprints into the confessions. They didn't have a lawyer. They were crying. They said, I don't know, I was in bed. They pulled me out of my bed. My wife was hanging on my clothes and my kids, and the military just pushed them away, and they took me. Tied my hands and feet, put me in a pickup truck and drove me for 6 to 8 hours to Oaxaca, a detention center, then tortured me. And they were telling me that they were going to rape my wife and my children. So I had to confess, so I did. So that's why they confessed. I asked her, what are your hopes and dreams for the future? She said, I hope my children go to school. And that's what I want, that the kids study, and that they can have their own home in the future, their own house.
This past month there were a whole bunch of kids from this village who left because the village authorities announced that there was a contractor who wanted laborers for work up in the United States. So they announced it on the village speaker, and then a bunch took off. That happens in San Javier too. We hear all the time that they're announcing for workers in the States, or sometimes in the farms in the northern part of the country, the broccoli and tomato farms, stuff like that. And then a whole group will take off, not knowing what's going to happen to them or where they're going, if they're going to get paid or how it's going to happen. But because there's nothing here, they take off looking for whatever they can find.
Allá ¿dónde es? ¿Dónde se...?
En la frontera.
Sí, él no se dio cuenta porque se fue con unos dos de mis nietos también. Se fueron y uno de mis nietos se puso al tanto y se fue luego.
We saw cases of poverty, marginalization, injustice that didn't have to be, and we thought that we could do something about that across geopolitical boundaries that otherwise separate us. And we wanted to bring peoples and communities together in an effort to ameliorate and better the situations in which we found ourselves, our friends, and our neighbors, particularly in the countries of Mexico, Bolivia, and Peru.
Okay, before we talk to them and we talk about this project, we're going to help them water most of this because that's their duty today. And then
okay, good. No one apart.
In times of crisis, well, the first thing that comes to mind is no money to buy food, right? Well, how about if people get the right tools to produce their own foods? And with your contributions, we provide the startup, with like seeds, we provide all the materials needed to start up with this process with each family. And that's what we can provide to our program. And provide the volunteers a meaningful experience that actually will contribute to the well-being of the community. Taking advantage of the volunteer work that you bring in. Last year was 7,600 hours. What are we going to do with that? How efficiently are we in sustainability to that work that can contribute to the development of the communities? And this is, what Calpulli does and their educational programs, but now we're extending it to the families of the children. One of the families that right now, the students from Virginia Tech and Michigan State University help build these composting latrines. ¿Qué piensa de su baño y cómo le va a ayudar? ¿Qué piensa? ¿Cómo le va a afectar? ¿Cómo le va a... I asked her, how do you think this is going to benefit your family, having this bathroom?
¿Cómo me va a beneficiar?
Sí,
Primeramente por el agua, ¿no?
First of all, because of water, because we have no water.
Y por lo siguiente de la composta y bueno.
And also, of course, because we're going to generate compost.
Pensamos hacer ahí un pequeño huerto.
We're going to start our own family garden and a little plot over here.
Alguna hortaliza.
To grow, different vegetables garden for the family. So in that way, I will contribute to preserve the environment too, because I won't be using as much or as many resources. So then, you know, this is a catalyzing moment for everything that who we are, really represents who we are as a team, as a project, and combining, you know, with Fordham. So, you know, I guess this is a great momentum for not only Community Links as an organization, but I think for the people. Because now we're generating this necessity of getting together, a coalition among local groups, international groups, business students, to really start generating the changes that are needed. And I think that's what's important about this week. So, because I got so excited of the people that we invited to give the talks, Rafael Anderreche, Manuel Canto, said they're true leaders of Mexico and the strong sense, leading, you know, indigenous communities, citizens' participation, citizens' rights. This week is so important because no matter who we talk to, we're really giving voice to the voiceless. As Bishop Romero once said, we need to become voice for the voiceless. And I think this week, the voiceless are getting the voice. They're getting the mic. You know, they get to stand in front of the camera and talk. And I think that's what's exciting.
Quiero que sepas y espero que vuelvas conmigo. Quiero que sepas lo que es aprender a querer. Quiero que sepas que nadie ha estado en mi almohada. Y quiero que sepas lo que es entregarte, mujer. Mas nunca has querido volver a mis labios febriles. Amargo camino fue el enamorarme de ti.